cái gì phương
All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those great obstacles to my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering safely. I wish to reach them in the still one surpass perfect, confident, and precious Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those are clear obstacles to my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering safely. I wish to reach them in the still one surpass perfect, confident, and precious Buddhahood. Dala dangwara zepe dra, nubara zepe ge, tarba dang damje jemba la barde jubara zeba damje je zo zepe, manam ga dan yambe zemje damje dewa dan den, dongara dan dar, yordu lana meba yanda bara zobe zanjo rumbo je do bara za. Thus, unto achieving enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Unto death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas, Dakinis, and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As previous Buddhas embodied enlightened mind and progress on the Bodhisattva's path, two for the benefit of all sentient beings giving birth to bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mothers and sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May the rest and equanimity free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectively with my body, speech, and faithful mind toward Tathagata sedentary directions. Those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samandabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest within my mind. I posted to them at the imply my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus all space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honoring oils, manifesting like indifferent grains things. I make offering to them of fine garments, performed for Peru, for highs, moon, meru, and orange in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samandabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 generations of great Bodhisattva and the Pakshika Buddhas. Those who have entered those who have entered the path of Aharaja and all other beings. I recourse to all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intended passing to Parinavana to living long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through both stations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and stirred with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadow, the spring mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As Buddha fear, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness as Buddha fears. To the Lama who possesses the three kayas, I offer outer, inner, and sacred offerings with my body, worth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying. For the sake of enlightenment, all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rina Mandala Bunza Manga Samandra Zawar Samaya Hong. I call refuge, O know my word. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are Victor Varjadara Vido adored. I bow at the feet of Father Jigtin Songong. Continue nothing with no one but you. Compassion, the one grant your blessings. Dispel darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of the mind. Please stand aware of the Dharma of the true vehicles and the combination according to disposition likewise mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is burning like the sun, free of clouds of two words, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for all beings who are suffering from darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara, as our Father for only Son. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branches of Haramana speech. He wears the wisdom silver to cast settling of suffering and to dispel darkness of confusion. And the Bodhisattva form is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplishing the 10 levels and perfect in the body of our knowledge. I supplicate human judiciary, adorned by 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram. Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om Wange Yoram, Om. You who are the perfect beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance, are positive before you and praise to Manjushere, Yonegalen Jangwa, Boyi Jedume Radambar, Jitin Domo Mezer Wan Jambar Yang La Zanzar Do Dange Doje Jaje. Raisin Chong Yin Jia Mado De Jia Wong Jiang Ba Zer Jia Lambo Dabar Ji Vega Xiao Jia Jar Bei Xiao La Yu San Ze Do Jian Jiang Jian De Lo Na Ru Dang Mar Ba Me La Ju Ju Gang Bo Ba Ba Mo Zhi Ba Jar Wan Ji Gong Bei Ga Ju La Ma Nan La Zor Wan De Ro Men Ji Ji Yen Ji Bo Dang Ni De Zong Zang Ji Gen Ji Ngo Ni Rang Sen Chi Ge Ngo Zong Dong Zi Bei Sa Wei La Me Ya La Zor Wan De. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, evening. You can hear, right?
Yeah.
Voice okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to share the Siksom Nedep. Siksom Nedep is 3 words come from Garbdorje. So this teaching, Pater Rinpoche wrote the commentary. When he explained this Siksom Nedep, followed by his 3 gurus' name. So view is Longchen Ramjam, and conduct is Chense Uzur. So the meditation is Chense Uzur, and the conduct is Jarva Nyuga. So then he homage to the gurus, and homage to guru is homage to all the Buddhas. Then he explained the view, meditation, conduct, short introduction, and then now is going to explain more details. So we finish the view, and right now we are in the meditation section. Meditation section is so today page 8, right? No one knows. Okay, so I think then
I don't know. I'm using a different copy, so it's not numbered.
Tawang on to Batala. See page. Lodon page. Yep. Okay, so I think we are page 12. Is the second section is meditation. Is correct?
Okay.
So
Cheryl knows. Hang on just a second, Khenpo.
We are in the deciding upon one thing and one thing only. I think we are in this meditation explain state. Okay, so I don't know which one's your page, so I have is page 12. The second section, deciding upon one thing and one thing only. Now to give a more detailed explanation of how to take the practice of meditation to heart. So in this, we already talked last week about view section, view explain. And we have to recognize the, view. And then when we recognize the view, so now is we have to practice and meditate. So we have a habituate. That's why here says now to give a more detailed explanation how to take the practice of meditation to heart. In a natural state of rest, so meditation is our mind is to be in the natural state, free from all the delusion or conceptual thoughts all the time and in any situation. So then everyone has usually ask questions, how long I have to meditate, how long I have to be in the natural states. So this is a very clear answer, okay? The answer is all the time and in any situation. So any situation means doesn't matter what you're doing, The point is always mindful and recognizing, what we're doing. And be in the, in the nature Rigpa states. So this is the, very important instruction. Any situation means like even you are, sleep in the bed, you are walking, or you are eating, or you are, doing something, activity, whatever you're doing, so you can be in the nature Rigpa state, rest, in any situation. Let your meditation be like the continuously flow of a river. So that's an example, river never stopped. And same, our meditation, recognition, mindful, awareness, there, here this instruction says never stop, always be in that state. Same as river. So then this who can have this ability is become called practitioner, true practitioner, realize. But our ordinary beginner is not possible to into any situation in the natural Rigpa states. So the main point is, always we can recall again our, practice in natural Rigpa. Any situation, any moment. So, doesn't matter what we are doing. And the Garchen Rinpoche, he mentioned, like when he was in the prison, he go to restaurant, using the restaurant, that time. And they're, doing this meditating and natural Rigpa. So the point is, like even you are go to in the restaurant and you are driving, you are taking shower, you are in the swimming, and you are in the bathing for nature Rigpa, and looking to in the nature states and the present, be in that state. So that's the most important instruction, and the reminding all the time again and again. So that's this view of meditation is more summary explain here again, and not going to more detail explain here. This how to all the time be in the natural states, or how to recall again in the natural Rigpa. So here it says, without cultivating stillness or suppressing the movement of thought, simply maintain the recognition that when stillness occurs, it is the Dharmakaya's own phase, and when movement arises, it is the inherent power of wisdom. And then whether in a state of movement or stillness. Okay, so in this, right now this explain is very important. Of course, this section all is important, but think about this one again. And we have, when we meditate, we have a drop. Mind's movement, cultivating, meditate. This is a problem. It is a problem. So mind is resting in the nature or, not movement, then we think I can meditate. I'm very good meditator. We have that, so how to say, the two different judgmental or concepts. So that's also actually incorrect. So if we are good meditator, the mind is moving, follow the thoughts, recognize that, all the thoughts, all the emotion is we can transform or to the wisdom. So use the mind for awareness. And then that is the more exercise for our natural Rigpa. So we can get more, the meditation quality or the practice growing. So that helps we are become good practitioner. It's the mind's movement and, follow the thoughts, have emotions, and that's recognize and or is, transform into nature. So then thoughts, emotion is always positive again. Then mind stay in the nature, also be in that state. No need attach to that, no need fixation to that. And just maintain in that state. Mind's movement, follow the thoughts, also let follow the thoughts. Let movement. And only recognition, knowing what going on, our mind. So that's the most important. Long as you have that, then you can maintain, the practice, any situation, whatever comes. And any, doing, practice, whatever we're doing, so everything we can taking into practice, meditate. So that's why here, the main point is without cultivating stillness and suppressing the movement of thought. So we don't need to rejecting thoughts. You cannot accepting mind is stillness. And they have to bring both are equanimity. It's, same. It's mind is moving, no rejecting, let move. And only recognize. It's mind is, stillness, no accepting and joy there, but just recognize. Simply maintains the recognition that when stillness occurs. So long as you recognize it is the Dharmakaya's own face. In this one, generally, when we have a mind is very strong, our beginner mind is very strong, follow the conceptual thoughts. So when thoughts, emotion arise, very hard to recognize, actually, hard to recognize. Even recognize, but harder to is, how to say, the transform and in the nature So not easy. This experience only when we can get is you meditate like 30-40 minutes. If your mind become very peaceful, resting, and then thoughts arising. So thoughts arising, you recognize the thought is arising. And the thought is arising, you recognize, and then you just see that, you recognize, then thought is, going back to in the, dissolve into the empty. And then also emotion arise, whatever arising, the mind is not really fixations and thoughts or emotion, not caught up there. Just you recognize, become your mind is very peaceful, flexible. Even thoughts, emotion arise, you not really caught up there. So in that moment, then you recognize, we don't need to rejecting thoughts. And we don't have to rejecting the emotions. Thoughts, emotion, all is we can become, transform or into Dharmakaya. So that's why here mention is recognize that when stillness occurs, it is the Dharmakaya on face. And the movement arises. It is the inherent power of wisdom. So then movement, mind, thoughts arising, emotion arise, you can recognize all the thoughts, emotion dissolving to again. And the let arising, you don't have to push into arising, just arising and recognize and or dissolve to again. So that time, when you have the experience, then you know this verses meaning what talking about. Otherwise, right now we have very strong this conceptual thoughts, and then this one, in right now what we're sharing is not possible. We don't get any experience about these words. So I just mentioned, you wanted to know what this meaning. We have to meditate at least 30-40 minutes. Then after, your mind is become very peaceful. And even thoughts arise, not strong. Even emotion arise, not strong. Just you recognize and just dissolve into back to in the emptiness. And then that time, so you can feel this instruction, understanding the meaning. So until that, very hard to know what this main point. So long as you can, the transform or release thoughts, emotions, then thoughts, emotions causes wisdom. It's so that's why here mention about inherent power of wisdom. It's become power of wisdom. The firewood is power of fire. So firewood created the fire, but firewood is dissolved into the fire, become same. Thoughts, emotion is become transformed into the empty Dharmakaya. So long as you have think about the fire, put firewood, and the firewood is create more fire and then dissolve into the fire inseparable. Same, thoughts, emotion, when arising, you simply recognize, and then thoughts, emotion is release itself, dissolve to itself. So that is called, it is the inherent power of wisdom, is power of wisdom, create the power of wisdom. And then whether in a state of movement or stillness, then doesn't matter mind is state, stillness, or mind is moving. So both are equal. Especially who has the ability to the thoughts, emotion dissolving into natural Dharmakaya, the movement is more powerful. Okay, then mind is stillness. So that's why meditator, I think good practitioners, their mind's movement, they're happy. They recognize, mind movement is also exercise of natural ripa. And so all this movement thoughts is dissolving to Dharmakaya emptiness. Then of course, like mind is no movement, is a stillness. That's also the maintain that practice. So that's this instruction. Then we go to the next one. From the see, this is the the movement, and during the meditation, mind is the movement. So we have ability to or the transform, the afflictive emotion and the suffering, happiness, everything we can take into part or transform. So this is this instruction. From the energy of minds, thinking, come negative emotions like anger and attachment that constitute the true of the origin of suffering. So, mind creates thoughts. And when thoughts arising, then arising the thoughts is go with a fixation to the thoughts. Then arise the emotions. Emotion can be, and attachment, desire, or anger. So it is origination of a suffering, afflictive emotion, as well as feeling like happiness, feeling to the truth of suffering itself. Also, we have suffering. Causes of this origination of suffering create sorrow and suffering. Or we have also happiness and joy. So, yet, whatever experiences arise, whatever, positive, negative arises, if you can realize that, so when we are in the meditation states, we have to recognize that the truth of these thoughts and emotions, it is the very nature of reality. So all this, positive feeling, negative feeling, and whatever arising, we have to recognize, and then this also all is no any other than nature ripa. See, I can realize that the nature of these thoughts and emotion is the very nature of reality. Means thoughts also emptiness, emotion also emptiness, and happiness also emptiness. So when your mind in the nature, so this all is dissolving into nature ripa. And the thoughts, emotion, you really seeing itself is also emptiness in that state. So that's the point. Then there are these afflictive emotions, and also the suffering and happiness, whatever arising, recognize, you log into your nature ripa, mind, and all these thoughts, emotion, positive, negative emotion, whatever rising is dissolving into nature ripa. So same is like the ocean, waves, and the movement rising from the ocean, but all dissolving back into the ocean. And arising from the ocean, but when they go back to the ocean, inseparable with the ocean, not separate. Same, our the mind arising through our natural rigpa is arising, or this, origination of suffering, and also suffering, happiness, whatever arising, it can go back into natural rigpa state. So that's the, like when we meditate and your mind is become stable, and it's the very peacefully be in the state, so you have ability to dissolving into the natural rigpa. Our mind is follow so much thoughts, very strong fixation, and then not possible to this thoughts, emotion is dissolving into the natural rigpa. So like the water is already frozen, then you have another water is cannot dissolve into the water, so it's become frozen and water is different. There be separate state separate. Similarly, when we have a very strong conceptual thoughts, emotions, and then this delusion is very strong, it's not possible to dissolving all these thoughts, emotion is in the natural rigpa. We don't have the ability. So when we have this ability, I just mentioned, you meditate, your mind is become very peaceful, relaxed, and no any fixations rising. So in that state, arise thoughts, emotions. Then you recognize all these thoughts, emotions arising from the natural rigpa is dissolving into the natural rigpa. Same as like ocean create all these waves and movement, or it's dissolving back into the ocean, inseparable. Same is like your mind create all these thoughts, emotions, is dissolving back into the natural rigpa, and then that moment you create your this wisdom. So that's this mentioned. Then also when we have strong emotion arising, in that moment we have to look to natural rigpa, and you be in the natural rigpa state. Your emotion or can dissolve into the natural rigpa state. So when you have an object of anger, not looking to the object, looking into the natural rigpa, and looking into the natural rigpa, and all this anger, emotion can dissolve into the natural rigpa. Then you look to the object, become no arise the anger. Its person is become already different than before you transform the anger. When you anger, you're transformed. Then you look to the object, no arise anger again. So that's the instruction most important. The main point is when desire arises, not look to the desire, look to the natural rigpa. When anger arises, don't look to the anger or object, enemy, look to the natural rigpa. So all this emotion can dissolve into that state. And when you have a sorrow or happiness, not chasing that, and no fixation to that, looking into natural rigpa, and then all can be dissolved into the natural rigpa. So that's all is transforming. Suffering is transforming. Suffering is taken into the path. Afflictive emotions become transformed to the wisdom, dharmakaya. So that's this instruction. Then most important, like we need to always recognize when afflictive emotions rising, and anger is rising, the just afflictive emotion, any afflictive emotion rising. And also when we have sadness rising in mind, we have to recognize. It's recognize, and then you, in that moment, you log into your mind nature, meditate, you have ability to dissolve. So that's another way to, become the afflictive emotions causes of become transform or wisdom. So that's why here says, okay, if you recognize that the true nature of these thoughts and the emotion is the very nature of reality. The all is nature of reality means all is emptiness. There will be just the flow of Dharmakaya. It's called Dharmakaya, means they are not truly exist. It is emptiness. And the soul of anger or attachment, happiness or sorrow, whatever arises, exactly same, method. We have to apply same practice. You don't need to different practice to apply to different emotions. So one this method or this practice, all the solution for all the afflictive emotions, and also suffering, and also happiness, everything can transform. Then, furthermore, generally speaking, even though you may have recognized the view, so here, like already we've talked introduction about the view, and now we know, the nature of Rigpa or Dharmakaya means. We already introduced that. You recognize the view, so that's a recognize the view. If you do not sustain it in meditation, even we know the meditation, if we don't practice, we don't meditate, and you slip into ordinary proliferation of delusion, the same odd patterns of thoughts will bind you to samsara. See, that's the, very clear instruction, very important. We have so many teachings, but still we caught up in the samsara and delusion states. Why is that happening? Even we know it's true of nature of Dharmakaya. We know all this different kind of practice. Not only this Dzogchen meditation, we know many different deities practice. We know how to cultivate precious human body. We know how to cultivate impermanent. We know how to meditate love and compassion. We know how to practice bodhicitta. We know all these shamatha, vipassanas. We know Dzogchen, Mahamudra, all these different levels of practice. But still we are stuck in the suffering, in the samsara. Why is that happening? The reason is, see here, if you do not sustain, so if we don't practice it in meditation, and you slip into ordinary, so we have become go back into ordinary again. Okay, so you make the hot water and go back to again cold. You make hot again, you go back to cold again. So same. When we have these instructions, teachings, when we are in the practice states, sometimes we fear, like, I am good, I'm good practitioner. I know how to do this practice. But then when we caught up with, the worldly activity, we are same as ordinary people, no different than any others, like who don't have any Dharma teachings, practice. So we are not different from them, become them. So why is that happening? Because we don't have enough practice. That's the reason. the same, see, old like patterns, like we have very strong karmic imprints, many lifetimes, and fixation, attachment, anger, jealousy. So it's all the desire, is self-grasping is very strong. That pattern is very strong. So that's why not that easy. Of thoughts were bind. So then thoughts, emotion bind you to samsara. We are stuck in samsara. As a result, the dharma and you become divorced, and the dharma practice and our own is become separate, not together. Okay, so that's the many our dharma practitioners problem. All the like our dharma practitioner problem is due to this. That's why sometimes people think, these people practice dharma, but see the actions doing. I don't want to practice dharma. Many people say that, so the reason is because not the dharma problem, who chasing the dharma, but they don't really put in the heart. And then if we don't apply in the practice, then cannot transform, cannot change. So we go back into same as ordinary people. Then some other people who don't have dharma, they think, we are practicing dharma and still nothing different than them. So then they say, okay, dharma no benefit. So that's we create the perceptions, we have to recognize that. So see, dharma is and ourselves is separate, and you end up not different from an ordinary person. So we become not different from the other, who don't have any teachings and practice. No different from them become. That is why you must never be apart from this supreme state of resting naturally in no meditation. And why? All the time in any situation. So that's the reason we have to be in the natural states, all the time, anytime. Doesn't matter which situation we have, okay? So it's this natural rigpa is recalling, or you go back into that state. It's any moment, any situation we can do. Even you are drive the car, you have ability to recall this natural rigpa. And I already mentioned taking shower, many different activities, you have ability to recall all the natural rigpa. Because anytime, any situation, we have ability to record that natural rigpa. And so we need the mindful awareness. And then no looking into what we doing object, looking into our own mind is nature. So that's we have to create, habituate karmic imprints. Strong and strong, or that's very important. And then next one, therefore, whether the mind is still active or whatever, it is not a question of overcoming each individual negative emotion and thoughts with its own separate remedy. So our minds in the stir, or minds have creating so much activity, thoughts, emotions rising. It is not a question of overcoming each individual negative emotion and thoughts with its own separate remedy. Means we don't need to apply different antidote or solution for each emotions. So one solution is for everything. So this solution is for the anger, this solution is for desire, this solution is for our suffering, this solution is our, happiness attachment. Whatever, the situation rising. So one solution is always look into nature Rigpa, apply mindful awareness, looking into nature Rigpa. That is one solution. So mind must be same as ocean. So then, nature Rigpa is example is the same as ocean. And then ocean, some part is moving, some part is create a wave, but all is become big into the ocean, no difference. So same, like mind's movement, mind's resting, and this whatever sorrow, like we already mentioned, happiness rising, or it's become dissolving back into the nature Rigpa. So that's why we use only one solution. Instead, the sole remedy for whatever thoughts or emotion may occur. The one remedy for all means like all the problems, afflictive emotion has one solution. One solution is go back into nature Rigpa. It's a recognition of that view. So recognition. So what we introduce the view, we have to recognize that view, which was introduced before. And that alone. So that alone means only apply that. Don't need anything other than that. Recognize that Dharmakaya, you recognize before. So we already introducing the view, and just recognize that view and be in that state. Then all our negative afflictive emotion can dissolve into that state. Then next one. So whatever thought or emotion arises, in itself, it is no other than the wisdom of Dharmakaya. So in the meditation, you are in that state, thoughts, emotions arising, the thoughts of the emotion is inseparable with the Dharmakaya. When you are in the meditation state, thoughts, emotions arise, you recognize. You recognize, and just naturally it releases, go back into the emptiness, dissolved. And then thoughts, emotions arising, is go back into again. So that's why thoughts, emotion is emptiness. That's why it's called Dharmakaya, wisdom of Dharmakaya. And that is the hardest one, is here. And when we have a very strong delusion and conceptual thoughts, it's not possible. Thoughts, emotions transform to the Dharmakaya. Thoughts, emotions become, caught us. And we are, thoughts, emotion control us. So in that moment, we cannot say thoughts, emotion is Dharmakaya. When is thoughts, emotions Dharmakaya? So when you have ability to dissolve thoughts, emotions, not control us, okay? So that time, then you recognize this teaching, what talking about, the main point. You really get your own experience. Dharmakaya, and the true nature of the thoughts and the emotion is the actual clear light of the ground of Dharmakaya. So the ground light of Dharmakaya means like thoughts, emotion, it itself is emptiness, arising from the mind, nature Rigpa, but dissolving back into the nature Rigpa as long as you recognize its emptiness. So that's why not separate. clear light of ground of Dharmakaya. When you recognize this, that is what is known as the mother clear light present as the ground. So in here, going to talk about 3 different levels. 3 different level is clear light. Here is a mother clear light present as ground, and then also in the path on the result. So these 3 different levels, we have to recognize. And the Vajrayana teaching, the Dzogchen Mahamudra is followed by ground, followed by path, followed by result. Okay, 3 different levels. And when you hear the Vajrayana teaching, the generation stage, then you can hear outer level, inner level, and the secret levels. When you hear the Mahayana teaching, then relative truth and absolute truth. Okay, so it's different, like they're explain different ways, explain the teaching. So when we talk about Mahayana teachings, bodhicitta is relative truth, bodhicitta, absolute truth, bodhicitta. So best to own that to truth and explain the teaching. Vajrayana is outer, inner, and the secret. Then the best on these 3 and then explain the teaching. Okay, the Dzogchen and the Mahamudra is in the ground, path, result. Okay, so here right now going to share is a ground. Ground means right now we are in the ordinary person, ordinary being, and the nature Rigpa is in this ordinary space state. Also, it is emptiness. It's no different than actually on the path and the result. We don't have a separate than Bodhisattva's nature and the Buddha's nature. What Bodhisattva has, what Buddha has nature, right now we are in the ordinary state we have. And we recognize that we have. So that is is called that is what is known as the mother clear light present as the ground. Okay, present as the ground. So that's we recognize we have the Buddha nature Rigpa. Even we are right now in the ordinary person, we know that we have. So that's called knowledge, or we recognition. Even right now we are ordinary person, introduce the view, and we know we have mother clear light present as the ground. And right now we have that, we recognize that. So that is the ground. Then to recognize your own nature in that view of clear light of self, knowing Rigpa, introduced either by the master, is what is known as the path, clear light of the practice. So then we know in the ground, ordinary, we are right now ordinary person, we can call ordinary states. We have this mother clear light. We know that. Then teacher introducing that. Teacher, spiritual masters introducing that nature. And the introducing, we recognize that, we meditate, familiarity that. So that is the core here, is the what is known as the particular light of practice. In the ground, what we have is knowing and meditating practice. That is called the path light of practice. To remain in the state where these two, the clear light of ground and the path are inseparable, is known as meeting of mother and child clear light. And mother and child clear light already accounted where reunites. So this one, this section instructions very important. So someone have the doubt about the we are ordinary person, and then Bodhisattva Buddha is totally different than us. So we have that kind of very strong conceptual or delusion. Then this makes become inseparable actually. So right now we are ordinary, but that means like when we are actually when deluded, in that time also we have this mother clear light is present, always there. So the main point is when we have a delusion, in that time, natural Rigpa is there inseparably with us. So that is called the mother clear light present as the ground. Okay, then teachers introducing, and we recognize we have a natural Rigpa, and we meditate and practice, and that is called the what is known as the path clear light of practice. And then we know like ground path. In the ground and the path is become no difference. It's one, and so that is called the mother and the child clear light. It is the called ground and the path are inseparable. Is known as a meeting of mother and the child clear light. It's a result. So that three different levels. First is ordinary states, second is Bodhisattva states, third is Buddha enlightened states. But these three of them actually one, inseparable, because this natural Rigpa is right now we are even in the ordinary person we have, and the masters introducing, and we recognize we have, and then we realize that what we have clear. So then that is called the ground and the path inseparable, or known as meeting of mother and the child clear light. And the mother and the child clear light already accounted were reunite, means mother clear light is called ground. The ground is always there. Okay, we don't recognize. Child clear light is we practicing, we knowing that, and then it's realized, become our meditation knowledge and the true nature is inseparable, become inseparable. So that is called reuniting again. And this reuniting has many different meanings. In the Bardo teaching, the explain is, we have right now our this grown luminosity, grown luminosity, grown mother luminosity we have right now. And so then we meditate. We meditate, we knowing through the meditation experience. We knowing the grown mother luminosity. We knowing the true practice. And then, the in the Bardo example, when we die, so conscious is lost, and then waking up again. So in the waking up states is mother luminosity is arising. That time is called mother luminosity is arising. So then we know, so that is my realization, my practice, my meditation. So we don't dilute it again. So that means my meditation, my practice is called child luminosity. Okay, mother luminosity is nature ground, or the nature is everything is like we say emptiness, everything is nature ripa. So that's called mother luminosity. Child luminosity is our own practice. Knowing that is called child luminosity. So then the reuniting is separable. It's called the result. Okay, so the first ground is the same as the space, or the space is like ground. Ground luminosity. Child luminosity is like your door or your window. You see the space. And then, the door and the window is become, we are in the house example. So we have a small space to see the outside space through your door and through your window. So the house is gone, then your door or window space is inseparable with the outside space. It's become one. So same, our own realization, recognition is called child luminosity. It's very simultaneous. Same as like window space and the door, like, through the door, the space. And so then that is become inseparable, merging into, ground luminosity is like the window is, the house is gone, window is gone, so that space is inseparable with in the outside space. Similar, same example. Right now, our own practice is like same as a window space, and then ground is the same as the outside space, and then that is reuniting is result inseparable. So that's this point. Then in this way, next one, always remind yourself of the view. So we always reminding view and looking into nature rigpa and recognize, nature rigpa, which is the clear light, recognize in you as your true nature. So that's we clearly we have to recognize, because the reason is our own own nature. We have to recognize our own nature, and as you are resting in that state, like we are be in our own nature rigpa state, you should neither suppress nor indulge, neither accept nor reject in any way the thoughts and emotions that are its dynamic energy tsar. These are creature point. Rest in the aspect of awareness beyond all description. Okay, so we be in the natural rigpa state. In that state, and as you are resting in that state, you should neither suppress nor indulge. So in that state, we don't have to, any like suppress nor indulge our thoughts, emotions, and neither accept nor reject. So we don't have to reject the thoughts, emotions. We don't have to accepting also positive things, you know. In this case, you know, like many meanings in there. So what is many meanings? When we are meditating, of course, the thoughts, emotion arising, right? Let arise. Not try to rejecting. And then thoughts, emotion, not accepting. Not accepting is like then you follow the thoughts, emotions. That means we are accepting thoughts, emotions. And we have problem, you know, like thoughts, emotion, accepting all the lifetimes. The thoughts, emotion arise, let arise, recognize it is release itself. So long as you recognize and you go back into meditate, mind nature, and then thoughts, emotion is release itself. And this I share, I think many times this difference, like some Mahamudra instruction and the Dzogchen instruction. What Mahamudra instruction says, when thoughts, emotion arise, you look to thoughts, emotions. You see thoughts, emotion, itself is emptiness. And release itself is Dharmakaya. So here in the Dzogchen meditation practice it says, when thoughts, emotions arise, not looking to the thoughts, emotions, look into natural Rigpa. Thoughts, emotions naturally release itself. So I think it's a depending individual level. So when thoughts, emotions arise, better don't look to thoughts, emotions. If we're looking to the thoughts, emotions, then could be we don't have ability to dissolve thoughts, emotions, because we're going to chasing again. Okay, thoughts, emotions. So when thoughts, emotions arise, you just recognize and log into natural Rigpa. Thoughts, emotions naturally release itself. You don't have to pay attention, you know, like thoughts, emotions arising, and recognize, and then log into natural Rigpa. So that's the one solution all the way up there. You know, we already explained. And happiness arise, and log into natural Rigpa. Sorrow arise, log into natural Rigpa. Okay. Emotion arise, log to in natural Rigpa. Thoughts arise, log to in natural Rigpa, or it's dissolved into that state. And the Mahamudra instruction says, like, when anger arise, log to the anger. You see anger itself is emptiness. And anger is rootless, groundless. It itself is emptiness. It itself is Dharmakaya. So that also possible, but it's in our practice is not that strong. I think go just look into nature requires better, rather than looking to the thoughts, emotions. You know, if you look thoughts, emotions, nothing wrong. But if you have ability to dissolve, so that's the different, you know, like instructions. So then here also, you know, we not rejecting means like not only negative thoughts and not rejecting. You know, like positive, whatever, like we don't rejecting. Positive arise, negative arise, not rejecting, let arise. No accepting also positive, negative, whatever arising, no accepting, okay? Just release itself. And that's the most important. Thoughts, emotions that are, then it's dynamic energy. Means, so thoughts, emotion rising, release itself is called, that is called the, it's a dynamic energy. So that, you know, energy using that is create our own wisdom. And dynamic energy is this called mind nature Rigpa energy, rising, and then dissolve again. So same is like ocean create very strong waves, arising from the ocean, like kind of like very big, huge, very powerful strong, waves rising from the ocean, but then it's dissolved back into the ocean. So we don't have to think like that, kind of try to stop. Not possible to stop, right? And just arising from ocean back into the ocean. So that is the dynamic energy from the ocean rising and dissolving. So that's a correct Rigpa means like energy rising from the nature Rigpa. This is a creature point. Rest in the aspect of awareness. Beyond all descriptions. So be in the mind nature states, rest in that state, and then that is beyond the thoughts, right? And beyond our expression, descriptions. So that is the, like the all is maintaining, how to maintaining our recognition view. So recognition view is not that hard. It's another level is simple, easy. But maintaining the recognition view is hardest. Not that easy. So then when we sit into cushion, meditation is also not enough. So that's why any activity have to take into meditation path. So that's why this instruction, okay? And all the worldly activity also have ability to take into the, meditation or nature Rigpa. If long as we have, knowing the nature Rigpa and the ability to do that. Many masters, the previous many masters, they're doing many activities. Some is like become nomads. They're taking care of the animals and doing many like, shaking the milk and create the butter and create the cheese. So they're doing that activities all the time in the mind is in the nature Rigpa. They're doing their activity, but mind is in that state. Okay, so that way they realize many masters. Some people, masters created like Tsamba, like the two strong between and rolling the truth there, and then in that moment they're doing that, but they are in the nature Rigpa states, meditating. So that's where they they create a realization. So the main point here, we have to practice anytime, any moment, and doesn't matter where we are, which situation we are. So we have ability to go back into the resting nature Rigpa any moment, because the nature is always there, and never lost. Within 24 hours, nature is there. And then, long as we have mindful awareness, we have ability to log into that nature state, Rigpa. And we have to create that karmic imprint habituate. Then, when you maintain that state for a long time, see, that takes a long time. As a beginner, you will have experience of bliss, clarity, or non-conceptuality. So then our beginner meditator has this, experience arising. So this experience is positive, but we cannot attach to this. Just recognize, and the main point is have to let go. So that's why here says experiences of bliss means like our minds always follow the thoughts and create so much afflictive emotion. Your mind is resting in the natural states, and anytime we get blessed, joyful, happy. Because in the delusion states we are so tired, and so all the this thoughts, emotions, and you long as you be in the natural states, it's peaceful. It's called nirvana in that state. So then bliss is naturally is in that state arising. So we recognize that we cannot attach fixation to that, and then clarity is minds become very clear. Like present size, non-conceptuality. So no any thoughts, be in that state, which will mask the face of your true nature. If we are in arising this, you like to have this, you like to have this, and you be in that, bliss, kind of like little sneakily attachment, like very subtle attachment. You be in that, like to stay in that state. You like to have that experience, bliss. And then you have like to have experience clarity and non-conceptual. You are become very subtle attached to in that. So then if you, long as you have that attachment, which will mask the face of your true nature. And then that is the many, practitioner, high realizer mention about many meditators stuck in this situation. They cannot go, they don't want to go beyond in that, you like to stay in there. If you're hiking, going top the mountain, you get another point, you see very beautiful view, then you just rest in there, then you like to stay there, you don't go up to hike again. So similar, I think. And when we meditate, you have this experience, then you become, attached to there and want to have that and become stuck in there. So that means then we are cannot go beyond in samsara. So that's why, and here, so which will mask the face of your true nature. Still see this is an obstacle for the true nature. So if you free it from this share of attachment to experience, so we want to free from this experience and let bare the actual face of Rigpa. So have to come really out in the natural Rigpa. So think about, we have a lot of cloth on, and like take out the cloth and still you want to inner like very soft, like the thin cloth, you attach to that, but still it's cloth. Similar, we take out all the big gross level attachment, and thoughts we release, but we subtle level, very thin, subtle in the attachment created there, then cannot see the natural Rigpa. So that's our face of Rigpa. Then wisdom will shine out from the within. We have to shine off our natural Rigpa. This is the method, how to shine out the natural Rigpa. There is a saying, more is follow is interrupted. The water in the mountain stream, the more it is disrupted, the better the meditation of the yogin. Better, I think, better, right? It's as say butter is mistake better.
Better,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we know.
Cannot mistake. There is a saying, yeah. Saying is this is the instruction, and the more is flow is interrupted means like we have the subtle attachment. We have to interrupted like the experience. So not be in this stay there. Like we have to interrupted that one. How to do that? Better the water in the mountain stream, the more it is disrupted, the better the meditation of the yoga. So I think here is the example is the mountain stream is more, it is disrupted. The water is maybe more soft, maybe more flavor. I think more clean. Similar, the meditation of yogis like we have to interrupted our this attachment all the time. But it is depending actually. Your minds have a very gross level thoughts. You doing this in disrupted. It's too early to do that, and then you cannot go into the nature mind rigpa. Not possible, because we create too much. Then in disrupted ourselves, thoughts create very hard to be in the nature states. So this has time to do that, timing. Not every meditation doing this. This can be really negative. This can be really positive. It's depending, the our state of meditation level. First, we have to fighting with the gross level thoughts and the emotions, and that time we cannot do disrupted ourselves. Okay, otherwise become more afflictive emotion, more strong thoughts arise, then we no ability to control thoughts, emotions. So in disrupted, it's like your mind is become very clear, it's stable, okay, and no thoughts. Then you become like to in that experience happiness. In that moment, we have to in disrupted. So that is called obstacle to the nature rigpa. You don't really see the nature rigpa. It's here also mentioned is face of rigpa. Then is what is here says, okay, the shine out from within. No cannot shine out the nature rigpa. So in this one is same is like sun is not the thick clouds, very subtle level clouds, kind of shining, but still is there clouds, very thin clouds cover the sun. Same is like that, nature rigpa is almost shining, but still, this subtle level obstacle or attachment is there. So due to that, not 100% is shining. So that's why we have to use this instruction. Then so stillness, bliss, and clarity disrupt them again and again. So we have to use again and again. This method is using for two difference. One is someone when we meditate have a lot of dullness, foggy, and sleepy mind. Then we have to use this method. And another is like mind is like wanted to be in there, but still not in the clear nature state. And that time we have to use this method package. So here is how to disrupt them, you make us, whenever experience of stillness, bliss or clarity arise, or feelings of joy, glee, or delight, you must polarize the share of your attachment to experience, shortening it as if by a bolt of the lightning with the force for sound of pact, which is combination of pa, the syllable of skillful means that concentrates and gather, and ta, the syllable of panjana, which cuts through, suddenly striking with the syllable of skillful means and wisdom. So they have two syllables. One is pa, one is ta. Pa is representative, I think, the method. Ta is representative wisdom. So wisdom and method, these two syllables bring together. So they use these two together and make this big sound. So the song destroy, this or our subtle level. Who's the doing the peg is not ready, okay? So use this, then we destroy or release this subtle level attachment obstacles. So then this instruction you also have to know when you have to do this. And also this instruction is for the only one person, only individual meditating, you can do this practice. But when we group meditating, we don't use this peg is for the public and people gathering together. So another level, the Garchen Rinpoche, he usually mention all the time, his instruction is a hong syllable, hong. So you think about hong, then that helps become also the release this subtle attachment, and helps become connect to the mind nature Rigpa. And in this one also you can create the song very strong. What here instructions destroying your this obstacle. But also you can when you meditate, you mentally pay, you can go back into again, and that helps clear minds, clear again. When your mind is clear, that moment this experience, attachment experience is gone. So then that moment you seeing natural repass, and have to recognize that one, that natural repass. Home, you look to mind, and then in that moment, this subtle attachment is not there. If you sit and meditate, you be in that, then you bless arising, you feel happy, that become attached to that experience, and then you say mentally pay, then you looking into nature Rigpa again. You're not stuck with this subtle attachment. You no longer attached to that. So that's this instruction. And you don't have to create a pay, especially not in the public space, okay? So the practitioner need always mindful. And, there are also instructions coming soon. So we cannot say I am meditator, I am practitioner, I know this, you cannot do in that, in the public, people who don't know the practice. Cannot disturbing others' mind. So that's the most important. Meditators more mindful awareness, and even our realized view is very high, but conduct is followed by the others' perception. So that's why, and in these many instructions, you cannot allow to in the public space. It's only on your practice. You cannot show to the people, okay, individually, like doing these things, saying I am practitioner, I have this realized, I have this experience, that's why I'm doing this. So if you doing that things, then it's become create obstacles, and so that's the big the obstacle, create bigger obstacle ourselves. Then that's also become destroying samaya too. So that's why most important is you have to know these things. Some things like you don't have to do in the all the time. Okay. Then this two syllables, see, is the syllable of Panja which cuts through, suddenly sticking with the syllable of skillful means and wisdom. So then that bring the wisdom again. So when you do not lose this wetter point of personal experience, and you maintain that indescribable or penetrating Rigpa. So, see, when you do not lose, so of course we cannot lose this experience. I mean, knowing this natural Rigpa. This lose in this wetter point of personal experience. And you maintain, so we maintain the natural Rigpa, that indescribable is not possible to explain natural Rigpa. When you in the meditation state, your experience is different than right now I explain. So also it's good is like in these instructions, meditation teaching, some sections you have to memorize. And you have to think that words and again. That really helps become mindful. And also same is like pick. And some instruction you have memorized, you chant that and mentally, and then you can go back into nature. That take you to the natural Rigpa. So that's why many some important instruction you have to remember during the meditation. So all penetrating Rigpa, see, Rigpa is penetrating. It's no any like boundaries there, like kind of like we cannot put some kind of like subtle level attachment fixation cloth to the natural Rigpa. If we have some creed like that, then no penetrating. Natural Rigpa is penetrating. All the time and in every situation. So we maintain natural Rigpa all the time, any situation. And then in these states, like we cannot create meditation and post-meditation separate. Okay, so long as we have a separation, meditation and post-meditation separate, then we cannot reach to, like realize easily. Take really long time to realize. So if we have a separation, then we also can go back to become ordinary again. Very easy. When we get in the post meditation, we go back to ordinary. And then when you go back to in the meditation states, you have fear, joy, like you think you are good realization, and not attached to anything. But we go back to in the post meditation, everything is attachment object. So that's the always happening for us, and that's why we maintain this natural rigpa in any situation, any time. Formal meditation and post meditation will not longer be distinct. So this is the instruction most important. See, in the beginner people, this two is big different. Long distinction. Okay, very far away. Meditation states and post meditation separate. Then good meditators bring these two is together. Meditation state and the post meditation is bring into oneness. So then we really can call them I am realized and practitioner. Okay, and right now what we're sharing here, we don't have the ability to bring all this quality or meditation practice. We have to know this, otherwise we lost the courage to the practice, because when we meditate we feel great, but we go back to an ordinary activities, we caught up all the samsara, the worldly activity caught up us. So then we lose the courage to practice. Right now we have that separate. So that's why we have to apply this again and again. Mindful, okay? And doing that, then this helps really become mindful and awareness, and maintain any time, any situation we can bring to the natural rigpa. You don't need a really long time to meditate. Like each moment you can look to my nature and be in the present, short time. We create that often and often, then we always have ability. When anger arises, we have ability to bring mind nature rigpa. When desire arises, we have ability to bring nature rigpa. Otherwise, when we have emotions, we don't have this practice. We are very happy, joy, we have this practice. So then the practice is no benefit, okay? So practice is when we benefit, when anger arises, when jealousy arises, when suffering arises, then you have this, if you have ability to bring this practice, then the practice really benefit. Then Dharma and our are become one, not separate. So otherwise, Dharma and we are become big, different, separate, not together. With no difference between meditation and post-meditation. So who has this ability? Only Buddha has, okay? No difference between meditation and post-meditation. There's in the Sutra teaching says, all the Bodhisattva also has this different. The why has a Bodhisattva different stages, like first permit or the 10th level permit. This who can bring more, this close post-meditation and meditation inseparable, going to more close, then the stages go up and up. So that's why we don't have to lose our courage to practice. This take time to happen that, okay, very long time. If one day we have this with no difference between meditation and post-meditation, we are realizer. Then next verses. That is why the meditation is sections, and the meditation when you are active during breaks are not separate. No division between section and breaks. So that is why I see meditation in section and meditation. So we, generally, of course, we practicing, we have different sections. We create different sections, meditation sections. And so we go to, like, say, I'm going to retreat. And then in the retreat also, we create all these sections. So then when finish retreat, already finish and then go back to again normal, ordinary life again. So that's the become, like the no or correctly, I mean the drawing or like not really using the truth way practicing. The good way is meditator practitioners. They don't have to create sections and meditation state and the post-meditation separate. So when you are eating, when you are cooking, even you are in the retreat, like when you are cooking, when you are eating, and when you are in the walking, and whatever you're doing, long as you maintain the natural rigpa, then always, one section. So we don't have to create a separate. Even you are finished retreat, like when you come up and you're dealing with all these worldly activities, but you're maintaining the natural rigpa, then you are, practitioner become. You can really bring the dharma into the activities, any activities. So that's the most people can't do. Very hard for most meditator practitioners. Go to practicing, meditate many years, and then go back to again in the worldly level and forget everything. So that's the always happening for the practitioners. And that's why in this instruction, so far, today whole thing is most important is we have to maintain this practice all the time, anytime. We don't have to create a separate these different sections. Meditation section, post-meditation, and that's also incorrect. Like then same is like you go to work for someone. So no, I have to work, like morning like 9 to 5 p.m., right? 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I have to work. And finish that, you finish. So that's, many practitioner does like that, meditators, but that is in here, this instruction says incorrect. So we have to always apply reminding our natural rigpa. Doesn't matter which situation, anytime, any situation, we have to bring back mind in natural rigpa. So then we are always in the practicing in the state. So that's what we have to create, which is your activity, so sections and the meditation. When you are active during break are not separate. No division between section and breaks. So no difference, like it's become oneness. In this, great meditation with nothing to meditate. Okay, so now, going to really talk about more important again. So everything is here is important, I mentioned. We think like I am meditating. No, I finish my meditate. So that's also incorrect. Okay. But in the mindful level, shamatha, vipassana, or we doing, love, compassion, meditating, that's correct. In that time is correct. But Dzogchen meditation, then that's incorrect. So you have to know, like, we cannot get confused here, okay? The followed by, say, the Sutrayana tradition I mentioned, relative truth bodhicitta and absolute truth bodhicitta. In the relative truth bodhicitta, so we have meditated, say, okay, precious human body meditate. No, I finish my precious human body meditate. So that for 4 thoughts meditation. So then how long you have to do that? The many instructions says like 100 days, 4 thoughts meditation cultivate. Okay, I did 100 days, I finish. So that's it's correct in that time. Then talk about the love meditation. You can go to 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And if compassion meditation, we can go to 1 month, 3 months, or it's correct. And 3-year retreat is correct. 3-year retreat talk about the first state we have to cultivate 4 thoughts, and then love and the compassion. Then have to do all the practice in that state, and chant the mantra like accumulate like 100,000 times. That's all is correct in that state, because that's an instruction in that state, and that's all is in the relative truth state. Yeah. And no, it's in here is not talking about this relative true bodhicitta and absolute true bodhicitta is a separation. It's the main point here is relative truth bodhicitta, absolute true bodhicitta. So we have to bring into oneness, inseparable. So that's why in Dzogchen here meditation, so the point is we have to recognize natural Rigpa anytime, any situation, any moment. And in that state, then, like we don't have to say, no, I'm meditating. I'm not meditating. So that true separation has to go away and bring to inseparable. So that's why in this great meditation with nothing to meditate. See, nothing to meditate means you are on the natural Rigpa states. So then nothing to meditate in there. You just be in the nature. Then we don't have to say, I'm meditating. The continuous river. So the river is uninterruptedly, right? Uninterruptedly moving all the time. So same is like that. The practitioner meditators, the continuous like river, like yoga of inherent, means always in the maintaining that natural states. Even in all perceived wisdom, there is not even a hair's breadth of anything to meditate on, nor in instant of instruction. So, like same as the river follow, and these good practitioners always in this state, and then they don't losing the mindful, always mindful awareness there. So they never they get distractions. you say like, I have to bring back my mind, something like that. You don't have to put effort anything. So whatever you're doing, whatever situation you are, always in the nature request states. Same as the water, like river follows. And so in that state, then this great yogis always in that even and all pervasive wisdom. So all the time in that state, never go to any like losing in that state. There's not even a hair's breath or anything to meditate on. Nor in instant of distraction, no any distractions in that state. They don't have to say, I am meditating. So always in that state, remaining. So that's here is the most important instruction. Okay, so we can leave that today. Yeah. Now going to the dedication. Dorjen Chang Delopa Naropa Marpa Malarepa Dharma Lord Gambopa Pamotoba Lord Digompa. Please be stopping us most auspicious bliss or Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve amnesia, by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travels on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent, precious mind, where this humble may rise, where this bomb is not decline, but even increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri Vero realized Aurum state, and as did Samadabhada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the bliss of Buddha who attained the Tirikayas, by the bliss of true unchanging Dharma as such, by the bliss of indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. By this virtue, collected in the three times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Digompa Ranashir, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, meditation, until the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. Tashidele.
Thank you, Khenpo.
So the next teachings will start in an hour, Khenpo. Is that correct? If people are joining?
Yes, you can join next teaching. It's after hours. And we have Vipassana practice. We're going to share short teaching, more meditating. Okay, so next sections are coming. Tashidala everyone.
Hello.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Good next
Thank you,
time.
Khenpo.
Sarah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.